So, hello friends, this is Krish Naidu, founder of a supply chain analytics consulting and training firm Mathnal. The website of our company is www.mathnal.com. You can visit our website to access our latest consulting and training offerings, and from there you can actually reach over to us. So the reason why I'm here today is that we actually are doing a supply chain performance improvement program, and this is our series 2. If you want to access the series 1, you can visit our website, or you can also access our social media pages, the Mathnal one on Facebook, or Mathnal one on Twitter, or Mathnal one on the LinkedIn. From there you can access the first series 1. So we are going to take the series 2, talk about series 2 today, and the series 2 is all about the demand and supply gap, how to bridge this demand supply gap. Okay, and we'll try to discuss one of the areas of bridging this demand and supply gap, that is the demand forecasting. So you know that if you ask me to define what is supply chain performance or supply chain performance improvement, there are majorly three areas. That one is the quality, second is delivery, third is the cost. Right? You want to have a very good quality of the product delivered to the customer. You want to have a least delivery time or optimal delivery time to be used to deliver to the customer. Then third is the cost. You want to have the delivery of the product at the optimal cost, which is beneficial to the producer as well as to the consumer. Right, that is the areas where we actually define our supply chain performance improvement. There are other metrics are there. Other metrics are also there, but I will not take those metrics in this particular video. So let's in these three areas like quality, delivery, and cost, we'll take a bit the delivery time. The delivery time is one of the most important thing, because everybody wants the product at the least delivery time, so that they can start their production and serve their customers at the earliest possible. Right? Everybody in the supply chain wants to have the product earlier and ship it to the customer, because they want to earn the money on their investments faster. Right? So the cash to cash flow cycle time will be very less if you have the least delivery time. That is where the most important aspect of the delivery time comes up. So if you want to reduce the delivery time, if you want to have the optimal delivery time, the best way is to reduce the demand supply gap. Okay, so if you want to reduce the demand supply gap, there are various other tactics are there, tools are there, or strategies are there in supply chain. But one of the important strategy is a demand forecasting. Okay, so demand forecasting, if you predict or if you forecast your demand properly, then you will have those if you can actually make them or make those products and stock them earlier than the customer requirement time or customer requirement volume. Okay, so that is why actually the demand forecasting can play a very big role in shaping up your deliveries to the customer. If you suppose, there are two kind of strategy which are used in demand forecast in fulfillment. One is a push strategy, other is a pull strategy. Okay, so push strategy is also linked to the pull strategy. So pull strategy is that we don't forecast anything, but you produce after you receive the customer orders. But push strategy is a strategy where you try to stock the products based upon the forecast of the orders. Right? But there is the strategy where you use a push strategy on the semi-finished and the raw materials. Okay, but you use a pull strategy on the finished products. So even if you want to deliver the products to the customer on the base of pull, you have to work on the push strategy based upon the semi-finished products or the WIP or on the raw material side. Right? So still you need to forecast. Still you need the forecasting. So forecasting is very important tool if you want to have a good delivery time, or if you want to deliver your product at a least time to the customers, so that you can reduce your cash to cash cycle time. Because if you reduce your cash to cash cycle time, you are actually improving your working capital and you are improving your margins. So this is what very important area where you can work upon on the demand forecasting side. So what is demand forecasting? Okay, demand forecasting has two important components. Okay, the first component is on the reduction of uncertainty. Okay, and this is once you before you start the forecasting modeling. Before you start the forecasting modeling, you have to actually work on reduction of uncertainty, because we have the data which you receive, right? The data which you receive from the database engineers. So that data, you have to check how much uncertainty is present in that particular data, and how you can actually reduce those uncertainty. That is a very important area in the forecasting. If you do not reduce the uncertainty, and it is going the uncertainty will actually move forward from the data input data into the forecasting modeling area, and there you will have encounter more challenges in actually creating a effective model, or you can actually have you will not be able to create a model which has least error, means the randomness will be very high, or you will not be able to detect the patterns very well. So what you need to do is, before actually once you receive the input data, what you need to do is you have to reduce the uncertainty by using various techniques. So one of the techniques is you have to study the data based upon the normal distribution curve, right? You have to see whether the data is left skewed or right skewed. You have to also study the kurtosis, right? You have to also study the normality. You have to also check whether there are missing values. You have to check whether there are inliers, outliers. Okay, so there are various techniques which you need to study to understand whether there is uncertainty present in the data. You can also check the standard deviation. You can also check the coefficient of variation. From there, you can also check the coefficient of variation, standard deviation, period by period wise. Not if you're looking the standard deviation and coefficient of variation from the overall data perspective, you may get the skewed view. But what you can do here is that you can actually study the COV, or this is called coefficient of variation and standard deviation, period by period wise. Like you can take 3 periods or 5 periods at one time and look at the COV and standard deviation 3 periods at a time for the entire data. So that's where you can actually reduce the uncertainty. You can check the uncertainty, and you can use mathematical tactics or business tactics to reduce that uncertainty in your data. That's the first area. Second area is how when you are doing the forecasting, how good you are, how best in judging the patterns. Okay, how best you are judging the pattern. That's the second area where you can actually improve the forecasting. If you are able to check, or if you detect the patterns, based upon the patterns you can actually apply right or appropriate forecasting model. The second area where you can actually work upon. So if you are not able to detect the patterns, or if you are not able to find the patterns using mathematical algorithms, then it is going to be a bit of errors. So what you need to do is not about only a visualization, but also you can use mathematical techniques like autocorrelation, partial autocorrelation. These are the two important methods through which you can detect the patterns. Patterns, I mean seasonality, trend, cyclicality, randomness. There's two areas. The second area is very important to detect the patterns. If you are able to detect the patterns properly, then you will be able to use the right forecasting algorithm or model to do the forecast. That's second area, right? And third area is application of the forecasting model. So what kind of forecasting model you are going to use? That is third area. So if you are the place where you have to use the simple regression, but you are using if you're using time series decomposition, but a place where you have to use multiple regression, you are using simple regression. A place where you have to use logistic regression, you are using simple regression. The place where you have to use single exponential, you are using double exponential. The model or data where you have to use a double exponential, you are using triple exponential smoothing series. Right. So there are the place where you have to use ARIMA, you're using SARIMA. The place where you have to use SARIMA, you're using ARIMA. The place where you have to use ARCH, you're using GARCH. The place where you have to use GARCH model, you're using ARCH model. It is very important to use the right forecasting models in the data. And the fourth area is the post-diagnostics. The post-diagnostic is you have to take in one concept that if any pattern is present in the error. Okay, if any pattern is present in the error, it means your forecasting model is not complete. You need to still take out the pattern from the error and put that pattern into the model. That is where you have to work upon. So the forecasting model is only complete when you are squeezing out all the patterns from the error and putting that particular pattern back into the model. That is called post diagnostics, which you have to work upon. Right? These are four areas that if you work on, then your forecasting model is going to come very bright. So once again I repeat all those four areas. The first area is reduction of uncertainty level. Right? You have to reduce the uncertainty level from in the model. Second area is detection of patterns. So how good you are in detecting the patterns. Right? That's second area. Third area is application of the right forecasting model. Okay. And the fourth area is post diagnostics, means you are trying to squeeze out the pattern from the error and putting that back into the model. right? So guys, we are launching a training program on demand forecasting from 25th of August of this month. If you are interested to join the program, you can contact us on our email ID, which is krish@mathnal.com. You can also call or WhatsApp us at 798 +91 7989 366 381. You can also visit our website www.mathnal.com. From there, you can actually contact us about our training program details, and you can contact us and we'll take it forward from there. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll get back with our next series in another couple of days. Thank you very much.